Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back to another Pulse of Israel. Special episode here in our beautiful, beautiful Judean hills. Just yesterday, there was a terror attack, just minutes from here. And that's our reality. The reality that we have enemies who continuously try to kill us every day. Everywhere. Whether from Gaza, outside of Gaza, Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, up north. They're fighting and trying to kill us every day. And they've been doing this for over 100 years, even before the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. Hence, it has nothing to do with the establishment of the State of Israel. It has nothing to do with us settling or resettling our ancestral lands in Judea and Samaria. It is a hatred of the Jew, specifically living in our ancestral homeland, but they're out to kill all of us all over the world. It's a religious war by Islamists within the Islamic religion. People have to understand it. And we are fighting today's modern iteration of Amalek, the Amalekites. You go back to the Bible, the Amalekites are the ones who, this Shabbat, we talk about remembering them and remembering that God commands us to wipe them out. Yes, we are commanded to wipe them out. Why? They are such evil. They are the personification of evil because they attack from behind. They don't fight like soldiers, like an army. They attack the weak and the elderly and the children from behind. Guess what we're experiencing today, folks? We are experiencing a modern Amalekite enemy. They just massacred over 1,200 innocent Israelis, grandmothers, mothers, children, babies. They didn't fight an army. They massacred our innocents who had nothing to defend themselves. Anyone who ignores the fact that our modern Arab Muslim enemies today, and it's not just the Hamas armed terrorists in Gaza, it's the over 85% Muslims who live in Judea and Samaria that support the massacre. It's the Arab Israeli Muslims who support the massacre. It is the Arab Muslims and the progressives. They're partners in the West, in New York, in DC, in Los Angeles, in Paris, in London, in Toronto, in Montreal, all over the Western world, who scream from the river to the sea. They are all Amalekites. They are all Amalekites. They all support the horrific massacring of babies and mothers and the kidnapping of grandmothers. They support it. They support it so long as they scream from the river to the sea, so long as they do not stand up side by side to support the Jewish state of Israel, to stand up and eradicate this evil. They are Amalekites. They themselves have chosen to be Amalekites. This is our modern age. Jews wake up and non-Jews wake up, because these Amalekites of today, the red-green alliance of modern times, the Islamist Marxist alliance of modern times, they are out to destroy freedom. They're out to destroy the freedom-loving world that you know it. They're out to destroy the United States of America's freedom. They're out to destroy the British freedom, French freedom, Canadian freedom, Australian freedom. They're out to get all of you. And we here, the Jewish people in our ancestral homeland, the land of Israel, we are the front lines of the whole freedom-loving world against the modern Amalekites. It's biblical times, baby. Get it? It's biblical times. I mean, can you fathom that the United States of America is siding with Hamas? They're siding with Hamas. They're not pressuring Hamas to release our captives in Gaza. They're not pressuring Hamas to end the war. No, they're pressuring Israel to end the war. They're threatening Israel. They're rewarding Hamas. They're rewarding Qatar. They're rewarding Iran with money. $20 billion to Iran, the biggest terror sponsor of state terror in the world. Iran, and America's freeing $20 billion, $10 billion in November, another $10 billion last week. and allowing Qatar, which is Hamas. Iran is Hamas. The Islamic Republic of Iran is Hamas. Qatar is Hamas. And Qatar is not being threatened. No. Qatar is looked at as a neutral partner by America. And they're going to be responsible for building a port in Gaza. And the responsibility for that port, Qatar is Hamas. So it's rewarding Hamas. The United States is evil. The Biden administration is evil. And now the UK, also evil? They're threatening Israel that they're going to give us they're going to not sell arms to us in Israel unless we allow the Red Cross to visit the horrendous, horrific, evil Muslim terrorists in Israeli jails. Where's the pressure for the Red Cross to visit our captives in Gaza? Where's the pressure to free them? Where's the pressure to even give us information about our captives in Gaza? Nothing. Silence. Britain silent, America silent, the Western world is silent, the United Nations is silent, UNRWA is Hamas, right? Little by little, more and more stories of UNRWA officials and workers who are actually Hamas terrorists and took active part in the massacre and the kidnapping of October 7th. Guys, this is the world. That's the bad news. Now the good news. The good news is Purim. Purim is about the overturning of evil, the miraculous workings of God behind the scenes, overturning the evil decree back then. Haman, the Amalekite of the Persian Empire, who wanted to eradicate the Jewish people, thankfully, thanks to Mordechai and Esther and God behind the scenes, the Jews were saved. And we pray today to be saved. But understand it goes much deeper than that. So much deeper. You see, I keep on telling you all that more important than the physical war on the ground is the spiritual war we're experiencing. We are experiencing a spiritual revolution within the Jewish people today. Not enough Jews, but it's happening. And you feel it really, really strongly in Israel, and it's happening even to many Jews who are not yet here in Israel. And I say yet because if you're a Jew watching this, come home. This is the wake-up call to come home. The West is no longer the freedom-loving countries we thought that where it would be safe for us to live as Jews. Run away as fast as you can, but I want you coming home because this is home, not because you're running away, and I keep on telling you that. But what's the spiritual revolution? And the spiritual revolution is also connected to Purim and to the Purim story. Because today you have Jews who are not necessarily connected to their Jewish identity, all of a sudden wanting to learn about their Jewish identity and their Jewish heritage, keeping Shabbat, lighting candles on Friday night, going to synagogues, all of a sudden wearing tzitzit, learning Torah. You have Jews who thought that they were friends with their progressive neighbors and co-workers and friends. And all of a sudden, those progressive neighbors, friends, co-workers have turned their backs on them. Not only not giving sympathy, but supporting the genocide against the Jews. The genocide of the modern Amalekites, the Arab Muslim entity today that is behind murdering Jews every day. And what happened on October 7th? And then they find that their friends and co-workers, they're supporting that. And they think that the Jews are the enemy. So you have Jews waking up, realize, oh my God, we're alone. We thought we weren't alone. We thought America and human rights and indigenous rights and equality and diversity, that's what Israel stands for. Well, Israel's on the right side. But no. The Jews are being made to feel embarrassed for being Jews and realizing, oh my God, the progressive circles and all those organizations and co-workers and friends are stabbing us in the back. So it's causing a spiritual revolution of Jews to understand and come back to their Jewish identity. And we're seeing it a lot here in Israel as well. Many Israelis who they believed in peace with our Arab Muslim enemies, realizing, oh my God, wait a second, they're not killing us because of where we live. They're killing us because of who we are. So many not necessarily religious Jews in Israel are strengthening their Jewish identity and keeping Shabbat or lighting Shabbat candles on Friday night or keeping kosher or wearing tzitzit. You're seeing a spiritual revolution. What's the connection to Purim? Well, you go to the Purim story and you understand that also back then, the beginning of Megillat Esther, is the party, Achashverosh's party. And the way it's written, it's made to show like how unbelievably, what are the words? Ostentatious it was. The gold, the food flowing, the wine, the 180 days of partying, and who knows about what they were actually doing at the party. And the Jews wanted to be there. The Jews were there because the Jews in Persia, they believed they were Persian. They wanted to be Persians. They wanted to be accepted as Persians, throwing aside or making their Jewish identity below their Persian identity. You guys thinking of what's going on, the connection to today? Those of you who live in America, and if you're Jews living in America, how many Jews living in America today feel more American than Jewish? Think about it. We're experiencing the same thing. It's the same story. I'm not here to tell you why things happen, why God allowed things to happen. I'm just here analyzing after things do happen. And analyzing reality today compared to the story of Purim, the same thing. Back then, the Jews integrated, assimilated. They wanted to be Persians, and they wanted to run away from their Jewish identity, or they wanted their Persian identity to be stronger than their Jewish identity. And even though they did that, even though they ran away from their Jewish identity, even though they ran to Achashverosh's party and played it up as if they were Persians to enjoy the unbelievable, what's the word? Materialism of the day, right? That's unbelievable materialism. They wanted to be part of it. They wanted to be Persians. And still, Haman came out with a plan to annihilate all the Jews. And the Persians were going to do it. The Persians were going to do it. They were going to take part in it. And how we see the same thing today. Too many Jews in America think they're American. Too many Jews in Britain think they're British. Too many Jews in France think they're French or Canadian or Australian. Folks, you're Jews. You're Jews. You're just temporarily living in those countries. Your grandparents didn't live in those countries. Your grandparents probably didn't live in the countries that weren't as their grandparents. You're Jews. Wake up, Jews. You're Jews. You happen to live in America right now. You're not American. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. You live in Britain? You're just living in Britain temporarily. Whether you think you're going to live there all your life, I promise you, your kids or your grandkids are not going to live there anymore. It's not going to be safe for your kids or your grandkids to live there. You're Jewish. You're not British. You're not American. You just happen to be living there right now. I was born in America, but I'm Jewish. That is the spiritual revolution taking place. Jews realizing, oh my God, I'm Jewish. Not enough are internalizing, wait a second, I'm supposed to understand that I'm not American, I'm really Jewish. I'm not British, I'm really Jewish. Internalize it, folks. The hatred is because you're Jewish. You've been living in America, you've assimilated, you're successful, whether or not you, but your friends or family members or Jewish community members, and yet at the end of the day, today, you're being hated because you're a Jew. It's the anti-Semitism that's pushing Jews to remember once again that at the end of the day, they are Jews. And we have a homeland. We have a homeland. And you could come home. And you could be Jewish here. Where the whole country is going to be celebrating Purim. Where the whole country celebrates Pesach. Where the whole country celebrates Yom Kippur. And Rosh Hashanah. And Sukkot. Where the whole country celebrates Yom HaAtzmaut. Where the whole country sad on Yom HaZikaron. This is your country. Come home. Come home. And today, on Som Ta'anit Esther, the day where we're fasting, the fast of Esther, that was part of Esther's tshuva process. Get it? Like, Esther too. Was she a religious Jew? Well, some Torah authorities say that she was religious. There are other Torah authorities who say she wasn't religious. That Mordechai wasn't even religious. They were successful, assimilated Jews in Persia. Mordechai was involved in the politics of Persia. Esther went to be for the pageant for the king before the problems of Haman. She was assimilated. They were assimilated. And yet when the danger was right there in front of the Jewish people of the plan to annihilate the whole Jewish people, to allow Persians to raise up their swords and just kill a Jew in the street, Esther woke up and realized, I got to do something. It was her uncle Mordechai who prompted her, but she woke up. And then she fasted for 3 days, and she called all the Jewish people to fast. That was part of her return to her Jewish identity. Jews, today we're fasting. The fast of Esther. And today I'm going to be back here at Oz V'Gaon in a few hours, where we're going to have everyone at 5:30 p.m. Israel time, together with Jews all over the world at that same exact time. So 5:30 p.m. Israel time, it's 6-hour difference from Eastern Standard Time right now. That means it's 11:30 in Eastern Standard. Say the Shema. Jews all over the world together are going to be saying Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Jews today at 5:30 p.m. Israel time, wherever you are in the world, look at your clock and join and scream out Shema Yisrael. See if people in your community are getting together. The Jewish people, we have to own our identity. We have to come together. We have to unify. We have to understand that defeating our external enemies, and we have internal enemies as well, and I'm vocal about that because I believe the only way we can have true unity is by not ignoring the internal enemies as well, because their purpose is to destroy our unity. So we have to know who they are and why they're doing that. So I talk about it. It's not to destroy unity. It's to allow those who want to unify to understand why there are powers out there and who those powers out there are within the Jewish people, the Erev Rav, who are trying to destroy our unity. But we unify. We unify. Get together with people in your community at 5:30 p.m. Israel time today on Ta'anit Esther. And fast. And say the Shema. Screaming out loud. We are the Jewish people. God is one. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That is our purpose in the world. Our purpose is not to go to college and get a good job and then put our kids through education so they can go to good colleges and get good jobs. No, our purpose is to be the Jewish people living in our ancestral homeland, to bring awareness and consciousness of God to all of humanity. That's our purpose of being a Jew. And that's why we're supposed to build the temple on the Temple Mount as soon as we can. That's part of our process as the Jewish people, to develop the awareness of God in the world, that all of humanity then comes. That's why the temple is supposed to be a place of prayer for all nations, not just of Jews. Muslims proselytize. Christians proselytize. We Jews don't proselytize. We Jews say you be however you want, but believe in God, and then come and pray at the temple. That's the difference between the Jewish people and the rest of the religions. So folks, internalize the Purim spirit. The Purim spirit is that God runs the world and things can be overturned 180 degrees. So even though today things look bleak, even though it looks sad, even though our allies in the Western world are stabbing us in the back and assisting our enemies who are Amalekites, we're going to come out of this. You got to believe, folks. You got to believe. Strengthen your belief in God above. Strengthen your Jewish identity. And if you're not home in Israel yet, come home. Come home to the beautiful land of Israel. It's your home too. If you're a Jew, it's your home too. And if you're not a Jew, stand with us, because we are in the front line for the whole freedom-loving world against the evil Amalekite within the Arab, Muslim, Marxist, Islamist alliance, creating a tsunami of hatred and destruction all over the world. Pray, pray, pray every day. Prayer is the most powerful thing you have. God listens. Sometimes the answer is no. Just like a parent. Sometimes a child goes to a parent and asks for something. Sometimes the parent says yes. Sometimes the parents say no. Don't think because your prayers aren't answered that God isn't listening. Sometimes the answer is no. But pray. He's listening. He's listening. And today especially, pray and fast and join us, the Jewish people, at 5:30 p.m. Israel time, screaming out Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Internalize that Purim spirit, everyone. The overturning is coming. The overturning is coming, whether it comes today or tomorrow or next week or in half a year or in a year. And then we have the Pesach holiday, which is about the redemption, the true redemption. Things are going to turn around, and understand everything going on today is exposing the evil of our politicians, exposing the evil of our journalists, exposing the evil of the social justice movement, exposing the evil of progressivism. There's so much evil there, so much evil. But don't be depressed. Internalize how important it is that it's being exposed in order that we can get to better days. It's happening. It's happening. Look at the godly processes behind this sad evil that we're living through each and every day. Good times are coming, folks. Good times are coming. So today, as we fast, internalize that Purim spirit and be optimistic and pray. And if you're a Jew, strengthen your Jewish identity. Am Yisrael Chai, signing off for another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in beautiful Oz V'Gaon in the Judean Hills, where I will be back in a few hours for the communal Shema Yisrael together with the whole Jewish people all over the world. If you are not yet a subscriber to my Pulse of Israel videos, go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And I need your support because I'm censored all over social media, so not as many people see me. I need your financial support. Go to pulseofisrael.com and click on the donate button to help support our work so we can get more people to hear these messages and watch these videos. And of course, for the short videos, go to Instagram, follow me on Twitter. If you're on Telegram, go to Telegram. I'm trying my best to reach whoever I can. Help me share these messages. Like, share, and obviously subscribe on pulseofisrael.com and donate when you can. Need your help to save the Jewish people, to save the land of Israel, and to save the freedom-loving world. Because how many other people out there are telling you the inspiring, politically incorrect truth? Well, I am, and I need your support. Shalom, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.